couple of days ago, a good friend of mine said he hasn't played Cyberpunk yet and asked what it's like. So I'll share my honest experience of the game I've been playing since it came out, and also take a look at some of the design features of the game that seem to have gone unnoticed. First, I guess I have to talk about the elephant in the room, this whole bugs and glitches thing. So I have an Xbox One X. I've had it since 2017, not so new, not so old, maybe representative of what a lot of people have in their homes. On December 10th, it's finally here. It takes a while to download, it's a huge game, and man, I start it up. The level of detail in this game, the art and craftsmanship, the amount of love they put into designing every aspect of this game, it just blew me away. Now, I have to say, I don't know anything about the PlayStation. I don't have one. It's different hardware, and I'm pretty curious, if you're a PS4 owner, what your honest experience has been. Please do comment below and tell us, it'll be interesting to hear. But anyway, on my 3-year-old Xbox, it's visually stunning. The detail in the atmosphere is just amazing. So it looks great, but is it buggy? Well, the game crashed on me maybe 4 or 5 times, always when I was driving through the city. I think it's trying to draw this huge complex city on the fly and sometimes can't keep up with the calculations. But it's only been 4 or 5 times and it auto-saves every 5 minutes, so in total honesty I didn't notice it. You just load back up, no big deal. How about the frame rate? My experience is it runs fine, except for maybe 4 missions where I'm pinging like 100 machines and enemies through the walls on multiple floors, and it's drawing the world around me, including all these things on these multiple floors, and doing the AI and the animation and the displays and the text and the messages, and yeah, it really slowed down. But again, that didn't bother me. It doesn't usually slow down. Mostly the game runs well, and I'd expect a complex new piece of software to sometimes slow down. So did I want a refund? No, the opposite. I honestly feel like I didn't pay enough. I love the game and I'm thankful they brought it out on my old Xbox rather than force me to spend a ton on new hardware. Now, that's not to say that Cyberpunk hasn't got me interested in building a cool new PC sometime down the line. I'd love to see it at maximum settings on a huge display. That'd be cool. And I think what's happened is, when a next-gen game comes along, it catches people out, because everyone's used to having current gen games delivered to them. I mean, think about it. Some good games have come out in the past few years, but how many of them did you feel actually pushed technical boundaries? Anyway, about the game. It's not a single purpose game. What do I mean by that? Take Call of Duty as an example. It does one thing and it's great at doing that one thing. You run, you shoot, you run some more, you shoot some more. It does it well, people enjoy it. Cyberpunk though, it isn't COD, and it's not GTA, and it's not trying to be. Sure, you can use guns if you like, but I haven't used one for a month. It's not necessary, and to me it feels like not the way I want to play my game. And I think the thing is that it's my feeling. Yeah, for sure, you can use guns if you like. A lot of people do and they enjoy it. And some other people, they don't use them and they enjoy that. And so you have choice. You're living in Night City and you could choose how you want to live your life there. And the immersion is on a level I've never experienced in any game. It all started on a cold December evening, and something strange is starting to happen. I'm taking a drive with Dexter to shore not so long after the start of the game, and we're driving through the city, and like I say, it's a cold December evening where I live, and there I am looking out the car window at the city slowly drifting by, and it feels like all those car rides I've taken in the past through big cities on a rainy night, and suddenly I don't feel like I'm playing a game. I feel like I'm driving through Night City. And that's when I start tumbling down the rabbit hole. V's apartment, your apartment. It's a normal apartment. You have your bed, your bathroom, a desk, a TV, some shelving. Nothing unusual, your basic apartment. You get the idea. But there are things about the apartment, all these carefully thought out design details, and they're key to creating your game experience, but they're easy to miss. You have your couch, and you can sit on your couch and watch your TV, and there are some channels you can choose from. I usually watch N54 News to see what's going on in Night City. So there I am, sitting on my chair, but sitting on a couch, and I'm watching the current news about what's happened today. And suddenly I'm sitting in Night City watching the news about Night City, about the city I'm in right now. I'm not sitting in my room in a little town in England anymore. I'm sitting down in Night City. And there are other things about the apartment that seem superfluous but have key functions. I mean, have you ever wondered why there's a shower in V's apartment? As far as I know, the shower doesn't have any kind of core game function. It doesn't give you bonuses, it doesn't affect your stats, it doesn't cost you money, it doesn't give you money, it doesn't do anything. It's a shower. But get this, there is an absolute ton going on in Night City, and maybe you've seen a few YouTube videos already where people have skipped over menus because they have no idea what's going on, and yeah, it can be an intense game for sure. There's a lot to take in. And I've developed this habit. After I complete a large mission or spend a few hours out in the game world, I go back into my apartment, and the very first thing I'll do is go into the shower and take a shower. It's a peaceful time to just stop and cool down after rushing around in the busy world outside. A natural way to come back down to your own relaxing part of Night City, away from it all. And okay, it's not a real shower, and your character doesn't become clean or anything, but it feels like the right thing to do, and it's like a little ritual that I've developed when I return to my Night City apartment. And I'm wondering how many other people out there have been doing the same thing. It's this odd habit that's telling me that I've become immersed in the world.
Hey, V. Fantastic shot. Good to see you again.
Got another race to run, huh?
Your character's name, V, is another subtle part of the game experience and a great piece of design. Now, looking at another RPG, Final Fantasy VII, one of the most famous, if not the most famous, RPG of all time, and the first game ever to get a perfect 100 score in Edge magazine. You move Cloud around the screen, and you go through this epic story. It's a great game. But if you ask 100 Final Fantasy VII players, hey, are you Cloud? All 100 of them would look at you like you were nuts. Of course you're not Cloud. Cloud is Cloud. You move him around the screen and you are you, just like in any game. But how about V? The name V could be male or female, it could be a nickname, it's never explained. People just call you V, and you experience everything first person, and you live in your apartment and you watch your TV and you take showers, and people call you V because you are V, and V is you. And because V isn't really a name, it's almost as much of a non-name as you could get, it's easy to imagine everyone's talking to you. And this sense of reality is supported through the character design and writing, and through the main characters you talk with, who behave as you'd expect normal people to react. So here's the punchline, and what I think is going on with Cyberpunk 2077. I think it's the first RPG, the first role-playing game that's been created. And yeah, I know that sounds crazy, there have been hundreds of RPGs, but ask yourself, were they RPGs? Looking at Final Fantasy VII, an excellent game, one of the greats of all time, you move the character around the screen, you interact, you enjoy the story, you level up, and maybe it's kind of a visual, interactive story, a VIS if you like. You're not exactly playing a role, not really. And nowadays there are plenty of free-to-play games that call themselves RPGs, but in reality are simple battle games, so the definition isn't clear. But Cyberpunk, the best analogy I can think of for the gaming experience is it's like you're in the movie. Picture, for example, Mission Impossible. It's a fun movie, except you're not watching it, you're in it. You're taking the actions, you're talking with the characters, you're making your choices, and you're playing the role. Amazingly, things could get deeper. The graphical and sound quality, the lighting, the weather systems, you're experiencing this movie from the inside, and it's well written. Even Angry Joe said the writing was some of the best he's seen, and it looks like Next Gen is about what it represents for the future. experiencing life in Night City, you might feel like we're a step closer to James Halliday's Oasis from Ready Player One. It's not so much of a stretch to imagine that we could all go online, living in one big city or several cities. The potential's there, and perhaps, given the online work CDPR's doing and the nature of the cyberpunk world, this could be the direction we're going in. Only time will tell. And on that note, I hope you enjoy your life in Night City. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.
On behalf of the staff of the Independent California Motel, I wish you all sweet dreams.